People, the hype is real. We are getting closer and closer to season 3 and I am here for it. In fact, they gave us the definitive trailer to Ascendance of a Bookworm season 3 and it is absolutely gorgeous. So I'm not gonna do a reaction video because I already watched this, but I will go through it and give you some impressions and some thoughts and some little details that I noticed or that people in Discord or Reddit or wherever pointed out, and I'm just gonna fit everything here without making it too spoilery. And well, anyway, this is gonna be super low effort. Now, I've done low effort videos, but this is really gonna be low effort videos. But I wanna make this so that it's up for you all to enjoy as soon as possible. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna sit through the whole thing and just vocalize any thought that I have while watching, and then we'll break it down and analyze a little bit more just for the fun of it. I hope you enjoy. So thanks to Core Deity in the comments of this video, we get the translation of the text and what people are saying. So bless you, Core Deity. I don't know who you are, but you're awesome. So let's get started. So at the beginning it says, bring it all together, sing from the heart. Oh, how cute. All these flowers, I don't know, it's just so beautiful and it feels like a magical girl show. And oh my, there's a horse's butt, but it's Damiel. And now we get, the rest of the Knight's Order. And we get Myne. Again, we already knew she was gonna get the typefaces. Ooh, you know that face tone is bigger than I thought it would be. I thought it would be like thumb sized, but it's super larger. Oh, okay. Hold on. Here we have the baddies. We will talk about the baddies, but good grief, what a crowd to be among. Karsta continues to look hot, and Damiel actually protecting the Shrine Maiden. How sweet. Oh. Okay. There's so much going on here. There's Lutz, there's Benno looking his daddiest, there's that paper. Oh my gosh. Oh, all the scenes with Myne and her family are absolutely beautiful. I love it. They're really playing the family angle here for a reason. That paper again. I said Violet Evergarden. I mean it. And Delia. Oh, she's so cute with her little brother. Okay. Sorry, the paper, the blessings. So much hype is building up into, of course, they had to end with that. And, you know, for those of you who don't know, at the end she said, what was it? She said, this is my final blessing. And we will talk about that. But first, let's kind of break it down a little bit more. First off, the music. It feels like a really magical girl kind of feel, quite different from the other ones, honestly. I'm glad at the change, and I like the visuals too. All these flowers are super pretty. They could be using the flowers as a symbol for the approaching springtime after a very, very dreary winter, as the beginning of hope, as they're harking back into Myne's original flower pin ornaments. You know, there's a lot that could be read into all those flowers. We get this gigantic horse's butt in our faces, but luckily it just flies away. One of the things that I really wondered about was the color of Damiel's horse. We know from the light novels that the color of your high beast depends on your attributes, your magical attributes, like what you lean towards more, whether it be water, wind, fire, so the color will change. So I don't know if it matters a lot that because of its location, Ehrenfest leans toward the wind attribute. So I may be wrong, but a lot of its people are going to lean toward wind. So you would have to have a little bit more yellow in your high beast representation. But instead we get a lot of greens, a lot of blues, which means that we get a lot of people who lean towards fire. And I would have thought that, you know, people that lean more toward fire would be the people of Dunkelfelger. But then again, this is the Knight's Order flying in. They are going to be more attuned to the arts of war, so I guess it kind of makes sense. Ferdinand's white lion is an anomaly. You don't get white anything when it comes to a high beast because Ferdinand is a special case. He's always going to be a special case. I don't want to spoil it to people who have not read the web novel because this is web novel material. But I'm just going to say here that I think Damiel is more closely attuned to wind. So his horse should be like a yellow, and not just like light yellow, but a bright yellow. because lay nobles, that means the nobles who have least amount of mana, their high beasts are going to be darker in color. And then the more mana you have, the lighter your high beast becomes. That is why his horse should be like bronze, like gold, a gold horse, which would have been actually really gorgeous to see. Why didn't they do a gold horse for Damiel? He deserves a golden horse. Why didn't they? Then we get Night Order people flying in towards us, and I see Ferdinand flying in. Now, here's where I just had to do like a frame by frame breakdown when I first watched it, which was not easy because I was on my cell phone. I had gotten the notification at 5 in the morning, so I was like, okay, let me try to get the best screenshot of Ferdinand, and it's a blink and you'll miss it moment, but he is definitely smiling right there. And for those of you who are in the know, yes, this is a very, very lewd moment. I mean, they're holding hands. What in the world? We don't hold hands in this world, ever. I don't know what they're trying to say here. Somebody pointed out that Ferdinand's smile here looks unnatural. But then somebody else was complaining that after 3 seasons we deserve a smiling Ferdinand, so I said take your pick. You can't have both ways. You either have no smiling or out of character smile. Me, I'll take whatever I can get. Okay, this scene, it was supposed to be thumb-sized, but it's a minor gripe. I always imagined that he was going to just slam it into her forehead with force and she was going to be like super like sobbing by the time, like, I don't know, hyperventilating, sobbing, whatever. Everybody just looks really calm. I guess everybody's just more rational than I am in my imagination, because in my imagination all kinds of drama was happening. Probably Damiel was flailing about like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? And then Costa's like, shut up, here, have this space stone. And meanwhile Myne is like, my family, they're gonna tear me away from my family. And I don't know, they just look very civilized. I guess that's what being a noble means, and if that's what it means, then I will never have any hope to be a noble, because I'm a filthy commoner in that respect. I panic, I go, oh my gosh, I would be running all over the place, not knowing what to do, knowing that a child is gonna explode on us. I mean, how can they just sit so calmly? Ferdinand is telling her that her magic is too huge, that a person like her, who can't control their emotions, will probably endanger her family. Sylvester, again, he is telling her, when it comes down to it, this pendant will save you. Anime only people, you will know more about this pendant. We got a better look at it in the previous trailer, but it's actually prettier than I thought it would be. I had actually imagined it to be like a dog tag almost. As much as I hate to assault my own eyes, I need to talk about this shot. You see, we have the 3 main baddies here. And anime onlys, if you want to mute for a bit until I change the scene, you may, or you can just stick around and listen. This scene is pulled straight out from the prologue of book 4. We have, from left to right, we have, I think her name is Gloria. She's Shikikosa's or Shiksa's mother. We get our first look into Shiksa's mother, who is actually younger and prettier than I had expected to find her. However, she's younger and prettier in the same way that Georgine is younger and prettier. That is very cold kind of beauty. That hairstyle is not helping her. But baddies are supposed to have bad hairstyles. Exhibit B is the man way on the right. Yep, Count Toad. Look at that. Look at that hairstyle. Somebody once said that is the Hime hairstyle gone wrong. Like, who told him that he could pull off that hairstyle? Seriously, dude. First thing you need to do is go back home and fire your freaking attendant for letting you walk out of the house looking like that. And then we have evil purple dude, who is, well, anime onlys are gonna see him soon, and we know that in the light novels he becomes a major character. Then we have Count Toad, and then sitting in front of all of them is a figure that we're all familiar with. I mean, he has those antiquated little color points all up, which makes me wonder, why is the bishop wearing his bishop robes outside of the temple? That's not how it works. I am sensing that this is something that's going to happen quite often in the anime. People that should be wearing outside clothes are just going to be wearing their temple clothes, because why would anybody go and design another outfit? Karsted, looking fine. Damiel. Oh, yes, Damiel. So Damiel has to redeem himself for not protecting Myne during the Trombe incident. In the light novel, we get a conversation between Ferdinand and Damiel, where Ferdinand is like, you're complaining a lot, that you got the short end of the stick, that, that your life has been ruined because of your disgrace. but you know what, you were also in the wrong, and basically broke down reasons as to how Damiel went wrong when it came to protecting Myne. Yes, Shikikosa was of higher standing. Yes, they live in a class-based society, so he felt that he had to stand down, but he could have sent out a distress signal. Why didn't he? And Ferdinand was like, if she had been any other noble, you wouldn't have stood by and see her get harmed. So you can't just say like, oh, woe is me, because you were also to blame. It was a pretty good conversation. After that conversation, Damiel takes his job quite seriously, and he learns from that mistake. So we see him now fully committed to his work, and I am just so happy to see him. It's a trial by fire, but our boy Damiel will pass with flying colors. Bless him. The paper. Now, to me, when I first watched it, I was like, oh, look at the paper. There's a paper floating. And the first thing that came to my mind was Violet Evergarden, because I really like Violet Evergarden. And there is that scene with the paper floating about the city, you know, just magically drifting by, except that this one is actual magic. But if it is actual magic, then I know of only one kind of paper that was able to fly across the city and probably across duchy lines, and I don't want them to glorify that disgusting piece of paper. And thanks to somebody who pointed it out, because I would have never thought of it. So now I love the paper, but now I'm wondering, is this a bad paper? You know what I mean? Well, anime only people don't, but light novel people will definitely know what I mean. So I'm just suspicious now. Is that a good paper or a bad paper? Also, they gave it a sound effect that I'm not really a fan of, probably because when I heard it in my headphones, it really grated my ears. But you know, it's minor gripe. We got Lutz. Okay, so Lutz is working. He's not just, you know, running around after Myne's beck and call. He actually does work at the Gilberto Company, which happens to be a clothing and accessory store. So he does have to go out and do work, and that work does include probably fetching things, probably delivering things. So he's probably out on a delivery. Now people are wondering, who is this guy? And light novel people know who this guy is and what's going on. Anime only people just say that the bad people are closing in. Poor Lutz, he gets the fright of his life. And then we get Benno, who for once admits that he even himself does not know what's going on. Tuli and Myne, again, they get separated during the winter because she has to do winter dedication. So there comes times when she's just distraught and her family has to be there. Now let's talk about this shot with Gunther. I really like this shot. They made it so that Gunther here would blend in very well with the background. There are some instances where the backgrounds are really nice, but the characters, they just look like really flat, really 2D, like obviously 2D. Notice that the way that the flickering light in the background affects the way that his shadows move in his face. So that's also really nice. I really appreciate this attention to detail. And I can totally see the worry and the pain in Gunther. Usually like animes tend to stick to like a character being a gag character. This story gives Gunther the respect that he deserves as a parent, as a doting father who's doing his best for his daughter. Yeah, he's comically, you know, he's one of the comedic characters. He's obsessively devoted to his family. He's incredibly he's too much for Myne, you know. But when it comes down to it, he is a loving father and he is going to do what it takes to protect his daughter. And I am ready to see him in action. We got Aoife, she looks gigantic. Okay, so here we have Lutz and Gil. I love these two kiddos. I really appreciate how these two have come along, you know, become friends even after they started off on the wrong foot. I mean, Lutz beat his butt up. Well, you didn't see it that much in the anime, but he really did slap and punch and roughen him up in the light novel. So it's good to see how they've come closer, they become friends. I love to see Gil. I want to see more Gil. He's super adorable. What a precious, precious bean. Fran. Oh, baby Fran, you're too precious for this world. Delia. Delia, you're very, very pretty. And I really want to like you. But the truth is that you're still the High Bishop's girl, so I don't know, I can't say more than that. We do get a little bit of her motivations here. She says she will never let Dirk go. And I can just say this is a little bit of trouble up ahead. But trouble looks incredibly, incredibly adorable. We get all these beautiful new and old and returning characters. this couple here, I actually want them to give a little bit more of attention to. They hardly ever gave us Hugo and Ella, but I do wish that they would give us some more Heidi and Joseph action, because Heidi is a character. You get all these little previews of what's coming up. And then you get Myne, who is giving out a blessing. And she says, of course, this is my final blessing, which is not at all reassuring, but let me leave that for last. Here we get this blessing, we get the yellow floating thingies. It is a gorgeous shot. This motifs back here, they look like the temple doors almost, especially like the doors to like the high priest's office. And one of the things that's really interesting to me is that knowing where the story is at or when this happens, there's absolutely no way that Myne would be able to do this while wearing her full ceremonial garb. I mean, she is wearing, this is like the expensive one, the one that's used only for special occasions. And she's using like a really fancy hair stick. I don't know exactly how they're gonna work her costume into the narrative, because I know for sure that after coming in from attempted kidnapping, they changed her from her outdoor clothes to her temple clothes, and there's absolutely no reason why they would have her wear her most expensive finery. So I'm guessing that they're only doing this for the trailer, and then they're just gonna change it in the actual anime to suit the narrative. And also that makes me wonder about the expression on her face. I would have thought that it would be more somber, and she just looks smiling and chill. And I'm fine with smiling and chill, but I don't think it's gonna suit the mood very much. I will say that for all the budget cuts and for all the parts where the animation could be better, this show does have one strength, and that it just knows how to strike the right chords. When it comes to like emotional points, it just knows how to like tug at your heartstrings. I have rewatched this anime so many times, and each and every time when I see that scene, for example, when Gunther is crying by himself, I still cry. I still tear up. Tears literally run down my face, even when I'm just editing these videos. So despite my qualms right now, I fully trust what they're gonna do in here, and I am just excited for it. Okay, some final thoughts is, I said in my last spoiler video that there would be no season 4, and since then I've been getting my hopes up despite myself. But I'm really getting final season vibes here. Like, they're putting a lot into this one, and it's either a make or break season. Like, they're gonna see like, okay, does this get enough attention that we'll probably consider a 4th season? Or they're like, okay, this is the last season, there's not gonna be a continuation, so let's pour everything into this. Like, that's how I'm seeing it. I really don't want this to be true. I really want them to continue on. It's still up in the air. My money is that this is the final season we get. So let's enjoy the season. Let's make sure to amp up the hype so that more people can join in, more people can buy the light novels, more people can just be aware of this gem of an isekai. Like, it deserves so many more seasons. It deserves to be fully adapted. And rest assured, until the new season comes, I will be working so hard to make more videos out there to tie you over till then. And because then after that, you guys will all just ignore me and forget about me and move on to the newest sensation. And that is all. Otherwise, I'm just going to continue rambling on, and who wants that, right? Thank you for listening to my ramblings and my impressions. And thank you also to JcFerggy, who was the one that told me, hey, you're gonna do this video, right? And also he pointed out several of the things that I mentioned here. It is thanks to wonderful bookworms like him and like other people that reach out to me during the week that I have so much fun making these videos. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, comment, so that this video can be shown to other people who might be interested in Ascendance of a Bookworm. And I promise to come out with a new video sometime soon. I'm really gonna rush to get it done, okay? Love you all. Bye bye.